So if you have not, we're like the best kept secret here in Lake County. So if you have not come to talk with me, I encourage you to, because we're here to spread the word. We also have Monty with Lead Lake, and who else? David Kelly. Mike Kelly. Mike Kelly, sorry, he name tags. Mike Kelly, he's with Lead Lake also, and their office is downstairs next to mine. And who else? We have Marie with the Eustis Chamber. If you haven't joined the chamber, you gotta talk to Marie. We have John in the corner back there with the Small Business Development Center. Again, he's downstairs, come talk to us. We have Al Admer, he's the Economic Development Director for the City of Eustis. Who else have we got? Officer Coe, where are you? Officer Coe is out there. He's our public safety person, our specialist. Commissioner Hopkins, where are you? Back there, over there. Commissioner Hopkins. And I'm missing anybody.
Where'd your city councilman go? He's behind the wall. Behind the wall.
We have somebody behind the wall? Oh, okay. There was somebody else back there.
Behind the wall. Willie, come out. Take a bow, Willie. I'm here.
Thank you. So if you would like to find us online, or if you can check in, take your phones out, go ahead and check in, and that's our Wi-Fi information there. I'll give everybody a minute for that. And we are streaming live on Facebook, so if you have friends that are not here, you could send them a quick text and say, hey, hop online, and they can ask questions during the presentation part. Did it work? Were you able to check in? Did it work? Okay. Okay. Okay, so during this morning's session, we just want a couple housekeeping items. Refrain from sidebar conversations. Please mute your phone. And like I said, we are filming live on Facebook. So text your friends, families, neighbors, and have them join us. And Delaney is going to be managing our Facebook page this morning. Thank you to our host, Mega Workplace. George, did you want to say a couple words? This is George. He owns the building.
Good morning and welcome. It's been a pleasure really having this Million Cups thing that's exploded all over the place. Thank you for being here. Our goal and my vision for this building was to create an atmosphere for all entrepreneurs to get guidance from multiple different sides and facets, which Wendy introduced some of the great people that are part of this. We continue to grow. We have a few more offices available. We're looking for the right fits, and thank you for being here, and I hope you leave here a little smarter than when you walked in.
Thank you. And thank you to our sponsors. We have Dos Alves and Seacoast Bank. We're Jared, there we go, and Todd. So thank you guys. We are taking sponsors here for the future meetings, so if you are interested in sponsoring the food, please come talk with us. We are looking for additional food sponsors. So we talked about who's here for the first time. I'm a little ahead of myself. I just wanted to welcome the guests first time. So what is 1 million cups? We're going to show you here in this video.
1 Million Cups is a weekly educational program developed by the Kaufman Foundation. It's a place where entrepreneurs can come and connect within the community. There's a real kind of vibe or a real energy here that's about supporting entrepreneurs. We have 2 presenters each week, 2 entrepreneurs. They come and tell about their journey. They each have about 6 minutes to present.
You're telling people what you're up to, and you're essentially getting feedback from them.
There's about 15 to 20 minutes of Q&A. All the questions that they asked us really got us thinking about new ways to think about our business.
It was good just to be able to get that feedback from the rest of the community.
So over the years, we've added more cities. It creates a great energy here to see what's happening across the country.
Last question for you, what can we as a community do for you?
The what can we as a community do to help you question is what really coalesces the community around every single presenter.
When somebody applies to present to 1 Million Cups, they're instructed to watch a series of videos through the Kaufman Founder School website.
It's invaluable information for someone who's founding a startup.
I felt better prepared, I felt more confident, and I think a little more focused than I would have been otherwise. And I not watched the videos at the Founder School, so it was a great way to prepare.
I really like the educational component of 1 Million Cups because it does create that open forum.
You're going to hear great ideas that will help you start thinking even more about what you want to do with your business.
What I've learned from other entrepreneurs is very, very valuable. The cool thing about 1 Million Cups is that you're amongst other people like yourself.
Just hearing someone talk about their startup, it just was magical to think, wow, there's other people out there like myself.
Sitting in a room of other people that have ideas too, it helps people to leave thinking, you know what, my idea is worth something, it's worth pursuing, it's worth going after it, even if it looks like a challenge, I should still go out and try to do it.
Okay, so in the middle of the meeting today, we've got some cool swag up here, and we're going to draw business cards. So did everybody put their card in the bucket when they came in? If you didn't, we could grab those. Where's the bucket? Oh, is the bucket by the door? John, do you have the bucket? Is the bucket back there, guys? Okay. Anybody else have a card? Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So, would you like to present? We should have everybody be raising their hand. Yes, yes. Okay. So we are looking for presenters. So if you have a business idea, you have a newer business, 1 to 5 years old, with a what keeps you up at night concern, because we all have that, right? What keeps us up at night? You're welcome to join us and be our presenter. So if you're an established business, you're looking to start a new venture, anything, we've had some great speakers. We had, is the Bundt Cake lady here, Angela Bundt, is she in the audience today? She presented her business one week because she didn't know what to call her business. It was awesome, so we gave her ideas on what to call her business. We had a roofing company, they were looking to do employee retention. How do we keep our employees and how do we hire qualified talent? So we've had a lot of really good businesses present. So if you've got a what keeps me up at night thing going on in your head, come talk to us and present. We'd love to help you out. So you can connect with us on YouTube, Facebook, and those are our different accounts. And again, you can take a picture of this and send it to your entire contact list and have them join us. They'll thank you. So if you'd like to be a community organizer, we are looking for help. Monty and I, and raise your hand if you're an organizer, if you help us. Jim, yes? Okay, so we need help. So if you would like to help us out, and we do more of an email meeting, right, Jim? So it's more of an email meeting. We don't do a lot of like physical meeting. So it doesn't take a lot of time. But if you'd like to help us put these meetings on, we'd love to have you. And we need extra brains and extra ideas. So come see one of us after the meeting. We'd love to have you. And this currently is on our organizing committee. So the question of the day, we do this every week. If you could solve one problem in your business overnight, what would it be and why? One problem in your business, what would it be and why? Anybody? This is a thinker. Yes.
Well,
What's your name too?
I'm Christina with CC Insurance, and something that's been in the back of my mind lately is moving into a storefront office, and to be able to do that, I just have to be able to afford it, and I want to have more employees, so that's just kind of a dream, so more money.
Great, George.
Definitely staff, trying to get the right employees. I think it's just, I hear it everywhere. I think it's just the biggest challenge.
Yep.
Well, I'm walking up to Tad. Mine would be, for anybody in the real estate, is to remove the feds from our lives.
Good morning, everyone. Tom, Seacoast Bank. One thing I would do is, in banking is to mitigate fraud, and the reason I would do that is because we spend every single day on mitigating all different types of fraud. So eliminating that would definitely increase sales and revenue.
Great.
If money was not an issue, I would have a fleet of box trucks and tractor trailers, whatever was needed.
And tell us your name.
Oh, sorry, Delaney Foster, Junkie Monkey. Doing good junk removal, because you just changed the name.
Very good. Anybody else? This is a real thing.
Hi, good morning. I'm Deborah with Ego Depot Electric Bikes. So what's keeping me up at night? I buy very expensive, almost perfect property for my next shop, or do I stay small in Claremont and open up a new shop in Leesburg?
When he's spoken like a true future presenter.
Yeah, I think we've got a presenter right there, yes.
Anyone else?
I've got one. So my incubator clients, something that a lot of them struggle with is the whole networking thing. How do I be at all these networking events and how do I still run my business? That is something that I'm working with them right now. We have 3 clients and I'm helping them through that. And then, what goes on after you go to the networking event? Like, okay, this is a great example. I know we're connecting. We're not networking, we're connecting. But you're getting cards. Who here got a business card from someone today already? Yeah, so what do we do with that card? It goes on our desk, right? I know my desk has got a lot of cards. But it should be the process of after you get that card, put it in your CRM, then contact them and set up a one-on-one for coffee. In just 30 minutes. Like, that's the process. So I find with my incubator clients, that's a struggle. And the struggle is real for all of us. And don't anybody say, no, it's not. I know it is. So, but yeah, it's a real problem for an entrepreneur to figure out how do I go over here and network because I'm by myself, but I gotta run my business. So that is a real problem. So if you're struggling with that, come talk to me because I've been helping my clients with that here in the incubator. So, okay. So today's format, we have one presenter, Banks, right here. He's gonna present, and he's gonna give us a 6-minute presentation, and we're gonna do a 20-minute session of interactive feedback. So it's where we raise our hand and you tell Banks, hey, have you thought about this? Or could you do this to help solve your business problem? Oops. Did I, okay, come on up, Banks.
I think there's just one. Monty, there's only one, right?
Oh, there's a few.
Oh, there's a few. Okay. Doing well by doing good. Doing well, so making money by doing good to society, to the community, to everybody. Think about that because I'm going to take you on a little roller coaster and we're going to get to where I am. Imagine a business model where you give instead of buy. So this is a vernacular, to think of it as me not giving you money for your coffee rather than me buying the coffee from you. And that is a mindset, intellectually a mindset, your psychology has to change to like, I love this is a value of so much that I'm going to give instead of buy, okay? You're wondering, why am I talking about this? I am a sustainable farmer. I teach independence. I teach people how to grow their own foods, how to collect their own rainwater, how to create community on my farm. It's here on the farm down in Claremont, basically 7 acres. It is once a month I open it up to a farm tour. A tour, a taste, a teach, and a takeaway. It's a tour, 90 minutes. It's a taste. Whatever's in season, we eat. It's loquat season, so we'll be eating loquats. It is a takeaway. I give you clippings of trees that you can take home with you and grow yourselves, figs or possibly mulberries. And it is a teach. I teach you how to do this, okay? This is complimentary. It is free. I am not asking 1 cent, 1 iota from you all. So you're probably wondering, how do you raise money, Banks? How do you become sustainable financially? My view is to give so much value that they want to give rather than buy. All right? They want to give me money rather than buy. How do I do that? I do that through donations. On Eventbrite, if you look down, everything's complimentary, and at the bottom, suggested donation is $10, and that pays for the farm equipment, Eventbrite, postings, and all that. $20 pays for the presenter and the farm. $30 or more pays for the farm, the presenter, and then future events. And this is coming at it in a place where you're looking for people to be kind and nice, okay? And that is a big step. That's a big step for me. So as that kind of concept, as that idea, how do I get from there, and this is something I'm going to get to, how do I get from there to make it sustainable in a money sustainable way? My asks are basically 3 asks, and that is, how do I go from donation to a fee base, or to stay away from the fee base altogether, and just stay with donations? There are places up in North Carolina, in Asheville, and they do this business model where they ask $45, $55 for a donation. They're not asking $10, $20. They are setting up a program where people come and they learn how to can stuff, and they're there to learn how to can, but they're there for something much more intrinsic value than canning. They're there for community. What I sell is independence or sustainability when it comes to air. All you have to do is plant a plant. You want to increase your air quality? Plant a plant. That's as simple as it is. 2, water quality. How do you make sure you have potable water? I pull from the rain. I pull from the sky. So I find ways to make it sustainable and come directly from the source. 3rd is food. I grow about 80% of my food. That is my projected growth in the next year and a half, is to have 80%. Some of it you cannot grow here. Salt, pepper, these kind of things. Olive oil, not yet at least. The other thing is how do I become sustainable when it comes to shelter? The farmhouse I live in is simple. It is 874 square feet of simple. I live outside more than I live inside. How do I create sustainable community? I do that by bringing people together, doing what you all are doing right here, having a community, which when you come together and you talk, you're more apt to work with each other, you're more apt to get along with each other, you're more apt to, you ready? Change the world with each other. And then the last thing, and I'll talk to you on my own some other time, is to get from sustainable community to sustainable government. All right, and this is something we talked about feds earlier, but this is how we do it. This is how I think about it. So what are my asks? My asks are 3. How do I go from a donation to a fee base if I want to go that way? 2, how do I make this sustainable in a financial sense? How do I do that? And then the 3rd one is, how do I get to 2 full-time farmers working with me on the farm? And that is through either crop share. And crop share is basically you come, you work on my farm, you get product out of it. You get something that's not money. You get, well, right now it's kale or bok choy or radishes or cabbage. So these are the things I'm talking about. So there, I think I have 18 seconds.
When you start off going fee-based and someone walks in the door and they have to pay either the $10 and I don't know what it's for, but here we go, or I have to pay $50 up front, you haven't built any value. They've got the value in their head of the money they've spent, and you have to live up to it. If you're staying the way it's donation-based, you can do the whole show, build all that value in, and now the guy that might have felt good at 10 feels really good at giving you 100 because you've done your whole show.
Right, and this year I've started in October, I'm going through April, giving away. Everything is free. Let me tell you what's going on Sunday. Sunday we're having a farm to kitchen to taste buds in 90 minutes.
You got a tip jar out, right?
Yeah. I pushed the tips twice online with the Eventbrite, and then basically when I'm there, at the end of it, here's the donation, and I tell them that ahead of time. So I'm giving them 1 whole year of free, and the next year is when I'll start either fee-based or, fee-based. Yeah, you're right, you're talking about value, and how do we create that value to the point where people are saying, I want to give them this much money.
It's hard to build more value after they've paid, you know?
Yeah. So your argument is to stay with donation.
Stay on the back end.
Yeah, thank you, Todd.
Hey, Matthew Guy with Thrive. So my first thought was to create a channel, basically. So think of a YouTube channel or basically an open access channel that you can then create like a Patreon from as well. So people that want to become a patron for you or Patreon, they can have either a constant donation, so a monthly subscription to your channel will essentially give them extra added access, or if they were local, maybe they could be included in some of that essentially bartering, but hey, you're gonna get some in-season fresh from the farm items. But for people, to expand your reach so you're within a sustainability year-round, if you have that channel where you're teaching skills, not just on the farm, but how to preserve, how to do this, that, and the other, you can give that access to people who are regularly donating or have a subscription to donate. And that'll make you really sustainable because you'll have to pay monthly recurring.
Nice.
Hi guys.
Hey.
I'm thinking, I'm Maria Alberti. I'm the president and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce here in Eustis. I'm looking at it, how you could, let's just say, do corporate team building. Right now, there's a thing with retention. How do I keep good employees? I think that's also, they're not just working for pay, but they're also looking at, is this the culture I want to be involved in working for a living? So I would say, and other entities do this, do corporate team building. Bring them in. The team could come in. You could do the whole sustainable thing with them and give them something they can take back to their personal lives, not just back to the business. I mean, they're building that relationship with their colleagues, but they have something they can take home that they can say, my employer values me. He sent us to this wonderful, not a retreat where we just go and golf for the weekend. Sent us somewhere that we could learn, interact, grow, and then also take that back to our families. So I think, and then you can do the other donation for the general population if you have this support on this side.
Right. Let me ask you this question. How many here have a tree that was given to them or that they have in their backyard that they remember? Yeah, that is something that just keeps giving and giving and giving.
One thing we forgot to mention, if we can, so we love the feedback, let's try to keep it down to a minute and a half if we can. This way we'll get everybody involved. But a thought for you, where my kids went to school, they had a farm that they would go to. The farm was run by a farmer that was hired through the schools. So my suggestion, go to the school board, go to all the schools. Get the kids out there, all the ag departments. I don't know if they still do FFA, the future farmers. Get them involved. The kids, it may be something that the kids can come out and help work it. It may be something that the schools can put a farmer on there full time because you're working with the schools and involving the schools in it. But that was a huge success for that program up in Michigan. All right, you go back here. And
I was going to ask real quick if you know your demographic. Because like Tim was saying, if it's kids, then it could be educating kids at an early age. And then like the young gentleman in the corner, targeting YouTube. So maybe going more subscription based, whether it's digital or kind of loot crate package. You ship something to their location or their home and they can do a project at home with their family, grow something at home. So they come to you to get educated and then bring it back to their homestead to do it at their own place. And they kind of branch off what you're doing.
Right.
World.
What I do is a service. I don't do product. I give away product. So yeah, it's all service based. Thank you.
So I'm Margaret with EXP. I grew up in the 4-H program. I pretty much did everything you could do. I went through all the programs. Some of your questions that I can answer would be, if you're looking at full-time farmers, you need to be connected with UF. You also need to be connected with the Ag and Mechanics University, because they have programs where their students, maybe master's students or undergrad, they will need practical experience. A lot of those people are willing to volunteer because it's just kind of their heart work, they love educating, and you can get connected through there. Additionally, if you wanted to, you can work with FFA, you can work with 4-H clubs. That's adjacent to the university system. The university system is a good place to start. Just go, this is what I'm trying to do. Additionally, you could ask, I don't think there's one in Eustis or Lake County, but Apopka has a community garden, which is somewhat similar. And when I lived in Apopka, I was involved with that. And it's like 3 acres downtown. It's kind of like crop sharing in a sense, but they allow people to lease out of the garden. And so that's another thing to look at. I agree with what I think it was Matt was saying with YouTube. That's an additional way to build value. That's something that a lot of other professions will do, such as mine with real estate, is going, I'm going to explain what my value is or demonstrate something.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Margaret.
Delaney, we're doing good. All right, so we do have a community garden right here in Eustis, and it is put out by a 4-H club, but other people in the community can take part in it, so there is that. Also, I don't know, but I'm thinking there might be grants for this kind of thing. So I would talk to somebody who knows about that, but that was just an idea that I had.
Are you saying you don't sell your produce?
I do not.
Okay, that seems very interesting to me, because there's like, you can, what about apprenticeships? Have you ever done apprenticeships for people to come in and help you? They live for free?
I have a farmer who lives with me now. She pays to live there, and then she gets the whole farm to work on. Yeah, I don't sell product because I don't make enough product. I have 14 different gardens throughout the whole farm. And I teach, tea gardens, and I teach vegetable gardening and this kind of gardening and orchard gardening.
In my 20s, I did an apprenticeship at some organic farms, and it was great. I mean, it really is. I had free living, free food, and, I got education on how to grow. So that one might be something to consider, because it's fun for both people.
Wolfers, I think they were called.
I'm sorry?
Wolfers.
Yes.
Wolfers?
Yes, there's someone in Leesburg that's doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was, I enjoyed it, and so when you're in college, it's fun.
What's that?
You get money from the state for having apprentices.
Oh,
even better.
Hi, Kate Manley, President of Apopka Area Chamber of Commerce. We do have the leafing garden in Apopka that was mentioned, but we also, something that you can do, even though you don't have a product, to just get exposure, we created little, what we call pocket farms. And so around some of our businesses, there are these little raised beds, and then we filled them with vegetables and marigolds, and the different establishments paid for those. So they gave a donation of $500, and then they got a raised bed with veggies and stuff. You have to maintain it, and those are just kind of sitting around everywhere with a little plaque. I'm sure that you can come check out later. That will direct to their websites to be able to, just get some of that traction and exposure for your products.
Do you know anything about grants? Do you have a comment on anything?
Well, you mentioned, yeah, so for grants, yes, there should be some grants also for food safety. It's a major concern these days. Also, even some of the mental health and gardening, they have some stuff intertwined, but a grant just recently closed that was for water safety and training for water safety. I can't imagine that won't come back around. That was through the EPA. But if you teach people how to clean water, do some sustainable living, there could be some grants for that.
Thank you.
Have you considered a glamping experience where people come in onto the property as like an Airbnb. They have some cute tents set up. They have a full farming experience, maybe some classes.
I do have Airbnb tent sites on property where they bring their own tents, or they bring their own RVs or their vans. And I do have a restroom down there, and I do have a outdoor shower. So yeah, they bring their own equipment. I don't supply the equipment.
Okay, I think that's really cool and it's becoming very popular. Do you have any animals on the farm?
We have rabbits, wild.
Wild.
We have horses, wild.
Okay.
We have coyotes, wild. Only wild animals. Few humans that are wild too there.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So, back here in the corner. It's 2030. You've been hugely successful. What do you look like?
The biggest little farm.
How big?
Have you seen that movie?
Yes, I have. I love it.
Have not, no.
Yes.
I will be the biggest little farm. Yeah, biggest little farm. Dilapidated farm. Took 7 years to turn it around into the most prosperous, I think, farm, organic farm in California. Only about 30, maybe 130 acres. But yeah, people come, they experience there is product there. I don't want to sell product, but there is product and a place for people to be sustainable and to build a community out so that it is. There's 10 of these in that area. There's 10 of these in Jacksonville and 10 of these in Tampa.
Hey there, thanks. I actually have been to your farm last December. I'm sure you've come a long way since then, since you're up here still talking about it, doing it. And I think, I don't remember you even asking for donations. I don't remember if I gave a donation, but I think, that speaks to maybe ask more. Don't be afraid to ask for donations, because I certainly would have given because it was a good experience. And then adding value with maybe courses. I've seen some other permaculture or, home gardening, or like a course on chickens, or a course on microgreens is something that we do. Adding the value and creating those events, which it sounds like you're kind of doing, but I think that seems to draw people that want to do this stuff at home, because there is a big push to do this sustainably.
I'd like to say that you do look familiar. December, I was not asking yet. I started asking in October.
Okay.
So December.
December last year.
Oh yeah. So this October I started asking, and it is an ask. And we have like vegetable gardening 101, flower cutting and arrangement. We have yoga on the farm. We have Tai Chi on the farm. We have fire pit stargazing. We have drum circle.
Where are you advertising
we
now?
have philosophy. It's on Eventbrite, and usually we're a month out.
Because I found you through Facebook on the
Right.
permaculture thing. So maybe keep advertising there, because that's how I found you.
Right. I started doing that, and also in the newspapers too. They're free calendars.
Thanks. How many acres do you have?
7.
Have you talked to any, because I know farm to table restaurants are becoming really popular. Have you talked to any restaurants that are in that realm about maybe leasing some land?
I want to keep it to myself.
Working with them, maybe through the school.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Right now we have so much kale. And I don't have, like, my vegetable garden is the size of this room, maybe even half this room. So I don't have a lot of product. But when I do have a lot of product, I give it away.
So I have been on Dave's farm and it's fabulous. You have to go. It's just a little gem in Groveland. But 2 things, I think someone mentioned it, the Lake County UF Extension Office, they offer a master's program in gardening, or a master gardener. So that, I don't know what the curriculum is, so maybe you could partner with them. And then have, in Italy, they have agriturismos, which is where you go and you stay and you learn all the things. So, you know, maybe partner with Lake Ridge Winery on a wine tasting class and things that go with the farm, but build it up to be a destination, an experience.
Yeah, thank you, Deborah. We do have I try to utilize as many other farms as possible, so bring in the community. And this weekend, in our event, our food event, we're pairing wines with it, which is Lake Ridge Winery wines with it.
Okay, we got about 4 minutes left. We'll go Al, then Margaret, and back here to Jason. Or not.
Yeah, so fundamentally, you want to make a profit in business. At a minimum, you want to break even. So you got a year's worth of history, or we'll soon have a year's worth of history, to at least get to a break-even point. Price your product so you get to a break-even point. So that would be my suggestion, is that you focus, if you didn't add anything else, focus on how you break even and then how you price it beyond that as you add additional services.
Thank you.
I agree with what Al had to say a moment ago, and I would recommend that you look up Luke with the Natural Farm. He is in Howie in the Hills. I've known him for years. He is a nursery and he's selling it, but he's familiar with, as she was talking about the agritourism, I believe he's from France, I don't know, he's European, and he frequently does classes and he books out. If he's doing a class on grafting, there's not an empty slot. And so I would recommend looking at how he manages his events, because he is selling product, but those events, it is, here's the fee for we're teaching you this. And the classes I've gone to, 100% recommend.
Thank you.
Oh, hi, my name's Jason. I just want to encourage you to stay on the journey you're on, because not all business models are comparable, right? So you've chosen a unique value-based business. I can look you in the eye and tell you I've lived that for 3 years now. Extremely challenging, total freedom, and very rewarding. As you define yourself and define your business, the value will come back to you by those you serve. I would stay right on that course you're on. Sounds like you do. I think you already have the 3 answers to your questions down deep, and you're living it out. But you don't have to have a business structure like a traditional sticks and bricks. It's huge. I've been all over the world. I've seen people fight for a bottle of water. What you're doing is going to have huge value in this country very soon.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate that.
Hi, thanks. I think we can all fairly say that thanks is a philanthropist. So maybe just keep it that model is my suggestion. And so market yourself to these companies that may be looking for a tax write-off and keep that donation model going. And to provide that value that you're giving the community is education and on what you've explained. In that, don't be afraid to believe in that and market yourself like you're already doing. I think it's important for mental health, for the youth, for education. Once they see that, once you get one medium-sized fish, I think they'll start to collect those tax write-offs, and you'll be complementary to other bigger businesses.
Mental health, yes.
Greg Seisman with Right Realty Connection, do commercial and residential. Great ideas. I like what this gentleman said. Stick to what you're doing, because we need more of that. And in regards to what Monty said, I think finding someone that does grants would be great for you, really making that a priority, because there are many grants out there. We homeschool our son. That is a huge thing that's becoming big here in Florida. So monthly tours of that would be perfect for you, and that's a lot of exposure. But then also have a business page and a Facebook page, just to advertise. Sure. Yeah. Thank you. One more. Just have one more.
Sorry, I forgot I was going to say this. I wanted to piggyback on Andre. You don't want to offer these products for sale to restaurants or any transactional relationship. But if you just videoed your product, like we've all heard of Mr. Beast maybe, and how he wasn't selling anything, he was just selling his story, video of what he was doing, and then he would get paid in passively through YouTube. I think that'd be a good model for you.
Yeah. There's a lady right behind you there. Yeah.
Good morning, Debbie Weiner. I have a couple things, but they're a little bit off topic. With your extra product, you know, you can give it to some of the food banks. And that would be one thing. And the other thing is that I am stunned that you're a farmer, based on how you're dressed.
No cars.
I would think that, you know, you're a walking billboard. I would think if you had a nice, big overalls, the advertising that said "Got Milk" was worth many hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. So if you had a T-shirt or something like that over your bib overalls or on the back of your bib overalls and said, "Eat," with a question mark, "Need food," water with a question mark, and walk around with that, people would be engaging with you and ask about that, and that would just be so unique that, it might generate something, but I think dress the part would give people a 90% Debbie Weiner, Dolly Parton.
Dolly, if you saw me on my farm like Deborah did, I have a big overall, okay? I have a long sleeve green shirt. I have no shoes on, because I do not wear shoes on the farm. I got a hat on, kind of like a farmer's hat. So, yeah.
That's expected. I'm talking about when you go to the bathroom. Next week we'll have a new group of people here, and if they see that, they're like, "Oh, you must be agriculture or something." But it's a constant billboard.
So you need to overall with the crew.
Yeah.
There you go.
And trust me, nobody's gonna mistake me for a construction worker.
One more thought, your value is in the service that you provide, which is education. That's the bottom line. So yes, you're not interested in selling product, but you are, the values in, again, the education. A lot of restaurants, I know some of them have tried to do their own little rooftop gardens and gardens. That might be a vehicle also to teach those restaurateurs how to set up and maintain their own, gardens at their businesses, and then they would have their own fresh herbs and vegetables and things. So, I've been to restaurants where they do that, and I'm just so comfortable, and I'm happy to see them growing things in their business, in their venue. So it's attractive, and it's that that value that makes you feel like this is someplace you want to be.
Right. I just want to finish this one thing, and that is there's those of us that are farmers or gardeners here, there's something that happened to us when we were little, something we dug, we got a plant, it grew, that has impacted our lives throughout our entire lives, and that's what made me wanted to be a farmer. I was a digger, I loved to dig, I just dug. So that is one thing. The other thing is, those under 45 years old, there is a hunger to learn to be sustainable, and I don't know if it's because of COVID or because of scarcity or for what's going on in the world. There's this hunger to learn how to grow your own foods, how to collect your own water, how to live off the land, and that's kind of what I'm tapping into. All right, last question.
All right, hi, I'm Haley, sorry, yep, over here, financial advisor with Edward Jones. What can we do as a community to help you?
I would say show up this weekend, but we're sold out. I'll give you my card, go on Eventbrite. It's here on the farm, Claremont, Florida, and we have an event. The farm tour is the second Sunday of every month, 9 a.m. And then the week after that is open, and the week after that is Vegetable Gardening 101. Usually they include 25 people only. And then keep on looking at Eventbrite because we have flower cutting, we have yoga, we have many other events.
So you're not on Facebook? I'm sorry.
I am on Facebook, yeah, here on the farm.
Do you put your events on Facebook?
Yes.
Because I'm looking and I don't see them.
Eventbrite, that's how you should put on Facebook.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Would you like to draw for our winner?
All right, I don't want to draw my own.
Yeah, sure you do.
That's a good sign.
Presenters aren't allowed to put cards in the box.
There you go. Farmers Roofing.
Some lovely swag here. And what we think is the coolest are these coasters. And they're made by Pam's dad back there. The gentleman sitting. You want to wave?
Wait,
Wave these coasters. So if you'd like to pick something here.
No pressure.
Pressure? You really want to go? Okay. There you go. Enjoy the cup. Yeah, sure. All right. Any community announcements? Any community announcements? Yes. John.
I've been yakking about this for quite a while. I'm excited after 6 months. The CEO Exchange Program launches February 27th. If you don't know about it, see me afterwards. We have 3 spots left. And I think the significant thing about that is the other 3 programs have had the same members for 6 to 10 years, so it has value. So if you are interested, come and see me afterwards.
All right, if we can, let's, we want to take a minute and recognize our chamber partners, Marie and Kate. Kate from Apopka, Marie from Eustis. Marie, your breakfast is next Wednesday. Marie's been a huge supporter of the program, so let's support the chamber. And then Kate, when is your breakfast?
We actually have tomorrow from 1:30 to 4:30, it will be covering U.S. Housing. Or if anybody is looking for funding. Information for anybody to be able to attend, so it's free. It's at the Apopka and DFW.
Yeah, we appreciate your support, and again, let's make sure that we support our chambers as well.
I also want to add, we are looking to add a young professionals group, and that is being spearheaded by Monty and Zuli and I believe Margaret are organizing it, and they actually have a date, February 9th, 5:30 to 8 o'clock, and he'll send out flyers, and I'll distribute them also. Do you want to say something to that?
Well, if we feel young, can we stay calm?
Yes, and that's part of it. I did a little bit of research, and I found out, another city has a young professionals group, and our group wants to meet in the evening, so they have a little bit more social interaction also, but the other group meets at lunch. And it says up to 40, but they have found that anyone is welcome to come and participate, and they've also found that sometimes the older people, older members, contribute experience-wise, and they become sometimes mentors to these young professionals. And with this group, I've thrown some things out, and I've said, you need to have your own program of work. We're going to support each other, but you guys have the ideas and the energy, and we're all excited, don't get me wrong, but we need that. We need that in our community. So I'm very excited that they want to do that. So look forward to it.
If we feel under 40, we give up.
So all of
us,
yes. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you know what? I don't want to call anybody else up, but I'm going to call myself out. I think we should start a senior profession. We'll show these young people how to do it.
The experience.
Anybody else?
Actually, do you want to elaborate on George Fest and the need for tent?
Yes. We have, actually I'm looking at it, and I think all of the vendor spaces are almost taken away. So an opportunity to advertise would be to have something in the parade, a float, a car, to advertise your business or organization. That will close next Tuesday. So the day before the breakfast, parade entries are closed. So the parade is a big deal. I mean, and it's a lot of work. We do need volunteers. We will be putting up on Sign Up Genius, offering up people for opportunities to participate.
Do you have companies could work the tent and they wear their logo?
We do have a beverage tent, and it looks like we're doing 4 or 5 events during George Fest that we're going to put it out there. We'll put out Sign Up Genius. If your group wants to be in that tent for a certain period of time, you could wear your shirts. You could make it again a team building event. I'm always looking at that. It draws people closer together. Sometimes you work with people and you just, can't really stand them, but when you see them outside of work, and I think that really, it increases productivity when you see somebody outside of work and they're like, okay, they're a human being outside of work. And productivity in the workplace is what we're looking for, so that if you want to help build your culture, whatever, there's a couple of those opportunities available. We sponsor the parade, we sponsor a chili cook-off, same kind of activity, team building, come in. Our police department is involved, our fire department, several businesses are involved, and again, that is a fun opportunity for them, and they compete and there's a cash prize. So there are opportunities to get involved at some level, whatever you're comfortable with. So everything's out there. See me if you have more questions.
Thanks.
Brandy Lake with EXP Realty. I do a meeting every Thursday morning in Mount Dora, Serendipity Coffee. Real estate related, it's insurance, photographers, lenders, anything that has anything to do with real estate. Also, landscapers, we all try to get together. But I do also want to mention we do a community group where we all get together and try to help the community in some way. So I would like to extend any maybe grants or anything that would help that community group. So we've done, a remodel for a young couple that bought a home that wasn't able to do the repairs needed. So we got our landscapers involved, our painters that donated their time, flooring. We have Eustis roofing, I believe, did a whole roof for them. But we also we've done things as small as, a young elderly couple that needed some railing and steps. So I would definitely like to get this group maybe involved in that as well. So 9 a.m. every Thursday morning.
Yeah, that brings up a good point. I met John years back at the chamber meeting that a friend of mine and I were doing something to get back to the business community. And Brandon makes a good point. There's so much, and I think this is why this is succeeding so well. There's so much within our community about giving back. And like Wendy said at the beginning, tell everybody that you know about our program, because it's all about giving back. First timers, this is all you're going to see every week. Is everybody giving back to the presenters. We're here to support the presenters, and we're here to support each other. And giving back is I think it's coming back in a much bigger way than we all, and it's going to benefit you as well. Just keep getting the word out. Let's, we're not too far behind Ocala. We were talking about that. We're here to take down Ocala, and then still keep them strong. But yeah, the opportunity to give back is out there. Just let your friends know about it.
This Friday, 7:15, Claremont City Center, which is downtown, South Lake Chamber of Commerce has a dating business roundtable. You get to meet 5 people at 3 tables. So 15 people you have 2 minutes to talk to each time. It's a free event. You get free coffee, free maybe some donuts. It's 7:15 this Friday.
Thank you. Any other announcements? Oh, officer, yes.
A couple things. One, obviously we have our first Friday coming up this Friday. So you guys want to come out and enjoy that? It's going to be great as always. Another thing is, obviously I'm Officer Code Eustis Police Department. I'm the downtown/community/CRA officer. I have many titles that I go by, but basically my job is the liaison between the police department and our businesses downtown and throughout the city. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, that you have, that you'd like to bring forth, feel free to contact me. I have my cards out here. If you want to send me an email or just get with me if you got a couple questions, whether it's in our city or if your business happens to be in another city or whatever. I can't necessarily comment on what their city will do or should do or whatever, but I can kind of point you in the right direction. So if you have anything, just let me know.
Officer, do you want to tell them where your new office is going to be?
My new office. I'm not even sure yet.
I have spoken to the.
Oh, well.
Police chief, and you will have your substation actually a room with the door in the chamber.
Okay. Well, there you go. There you go. I haven't even heard that yet, but I haven't been to the PD in the last 2 days basically. So, and I was off all last week, so
Oh, you got fired too, I forgot.
Well, I thought maybe, but I was still getting my emails. So maybe they're just not paying me anymore. I don't know.
Okay, any other announcements? No? All right, well, thank you everybody for coming.
Group photo.
Oh, group picture, we need a picture, so please come up and don't leave yet. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you next week. Thank you, dear.
Huddle up for pictures. If everybody can come up to the front here, we would like to get a picture.
Point your finger.
Okay.